Right, hello folks, you can see in front of me the Reximex regime. Got two little items I'm going to do with this next. One is a message I got from Mike, who's got a regime. He's having problems with accuracy and things, so he says any chance that he could make a video showing how to adjust the trigger on a Reximex regime. The manual is not helpful. Thanks in anticipation of another informative video. Right, so he did say that he was getting like shotgun results from it, and that's not what you'd expect from a Reximex, because they're pretty accurate. So I did say the best thing you can do is pull the barrel through. Now the barrels on the Reximex, like the Crowels and the Hatsons, they get a preservative gunk inside them, so it keeps them from rusting while they're on the shelves and before they get sold. So the first thing you need to do as soon as you get your rifle is to clean the barrel. And because these are so gunked up, it takes a good 20 pull throughs to clear it. They are quite tightly choked, but that shouldn't make a difference. A tight choke should help spin the pellet at the end, but if it's too tight it can even polish that down. But he has got back to me, and since he's done the cleaning the barrel, it has tightened the groups up, and he's gone to the one-shot loader. Now going to the one-shot loader, the one that I got originally was for the Reximex Pretensis. Now they will fit the regime, but it meant loosening off the actual locking tab. But I was contacted by Bob Pattenden, who makes the magazines, and he sent me probably about 10 different tabs. So basically they've got a bigger spacer on them. So that's the only difference, is the spacer on it. So he will be making these according to the tabs he sent out. He sent Mike some as well. I think with Mike it was a C, on mine it was a D. But yeah, they work fine. So if you go online and you want a single shot loader for your regime, you should now be able to get them through Bob Pattenden. So they basically shove through from the left hand side, and you just put a locking tab on and it's ready to shoot. To load the pellet, you just pull it out, shove it through, bring it back. It's got a magnet on it so it stays where it is, no pellets in it, and you can fire it. So that is the new magazines you'll be able to get, single shot loaders, and that one's in 177. Now the traditional multi-shot magazines that come with these, it's hit and miss whether you'll get a problem with them. You get two magazines sent with each rifle you buy. So with having the two rifles in the same caliber, I've got 4 magazines, and out of those 4 magazines is probably, well, there's definitely one that works okay, possibly 2, but the rest you end up getting jams and things like that. So there are aftermarket magazines as well. Why on earth the manufacturers can't sort the magazines out, or just get somebody else to make them for them, I don't know. But you can get aftermarket magazines that work well, and they're very accurate rifles. So what I'm going to do now, strip the rifle down, and I'll show you where you can adjust the trigger to make it lighter. They are normally okay out of the box, but if you do want it lighter, I'll show you how to do it. So basically the first thing you need to do is take off the Picatinny rail and take off the top and bottom stock. So it is a 3, I believe. So there's 4 screws holding the pick rail on, so they need to come out. I can hear an alarm whistling somewhere, so if you hear whistling, it's somebody's alarm. So just take the rifle apart, and I'll show you where to get to the actual screw that lightens the trigger. Now what you can also do, if you want to improve the trigger and sears, you can actually polish them up, and I'll show you where to go to polish them up as well. But everything makes a difference. So a good trigger is a key to an accurate rifle. once you've got an accurate barrel, that is. Right, so you can take that off with your scope already in place, and then using the same size Allen key, so like I say, I believe it's a 3. You've got 2 either side at the front and 2 at the rear on top. Now the single shot loaders that Bob does, I think, are about £18 each. So well worth a buy, because you always tend to get better shots with single shot loaders. There's no chance of damaging to the pellet. Some of the magazines can be oversprung, so it can bend skirts, but a single shot loader, pretty good. So that's all the screws out of that, apart from at the front, I think it's a 2mm. Don't know why they do smaller ones at the front. I think they go uniform and make them all the same, but they don't. So that's all the screws to take the top off, and you got blanking plates at the side, and then underneath, I believe, possibly a 5. So there's a hole in the top. Just get that off. Yeah, and just unscrew that. And then the smallest screw is for the trigger shoe. I believe that's a 1. So unscrew that till it don't go any around it much more. So I think that's loose enough now. Trigger shoe, I'll do it from the left hand side. So you just need to loosen that off, which it now is. And from here, you can lift it off. So that is the rifle strip down to get to the trigger adjuster. So on the right hand side at the bottom, there's a little plate, 2mm. So I don't know if I've done it on this. I've done it on one of them. It's either this one or the Pretensis, but you'll see. Take those 2 screws off. It's 2mm, and that will pull up. Yeah, I think I've done it on the Pretensis. So where the Sears touch just there, you can polish those, and you can also polish it just there. You can use some wet and dry, say 1000 grit, something like that, and just polish it up and just lightly oil it. So they're the Sears. But the main part to lighten the trigger, all it is that little nut on the end. So you can loosen it off or tighten it. So the more it goes in, the lighter the trigger gets. Now you'll always get problems with bullpups because they've mainly got linkages like this. The only one you won't find a problem with will be something like the Daystate. Yeah, the Pulsar. The Pulsar's got an electronic trigger, so the triggers are activating a solenoid rather than a rod. And also the Renegade, although that's a mechanical rifle, the trigger is electronic, so you won't have any issues with those. But because of all the linkage, I mean, you've got a fulcrum point there on the trigger itself, so that pulls, and you've got this down here, and the main trigger is in the block like it'd be on a normal rifle. But that is your main point to lighten the trigger. There is another screw there. Now that puts tension on the sear, so you can use that one. I think that's first stage, this is second stage. But what I tend to do, if you want a light trigger, you tighten it down until it goes off, and then you take it back a turn, and you'll get a light trigger that way. So that's the way I do it with mine. So just tighten it up. If it goes off, just loosen it off about a turn, and then you should finally get a light trigger. So if I cock it, it's pretty easy. It feels like a single stage, but it's very light and it's predictable. Very good when you get them right. Like I say, if you want to do it, I've actually put a washer on there as well, but that is basically your adjustment. And it's the same on Kralls as well. Kralls have got a screw there for one part of the stage, and that's the final part there. So that's all there is to it. Now to adjust the trigger on a regime. Okay then folks, so that's the rifle back together. We'll be doing some zeros with it, testing it out. Let's say easy enough to load, pallet in, and fire. So thanks for watching. Hope that's helped some of you that's had issues that your trigger needs adjusting or your barrel needs cleaning. All these things will help improve accuracy. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.